This is an LR question that has got combinations and cases, which is very similar to the other set of questions that we did, that is in the same set of questions that we have in this mock test. So let's look at what this question is all about. This question says, in a face-off between India and Pakistan, 5 soldiers from each side are facing each other. So that means we have 5 soldiers facing each other. So we have Pakistan and we have India. 2 of the Palestini soldiers are tribal terrorists. So we have 2 soldiers as terrorists from Palestine. And one of the Indian soldiers is a traitor. So one of the Indian soldiers is a traitor who has planted landmines on which two other Indian soldiers are standing. So let's denote them by M and M. Those 2 soldiers who are standing on the mines. One soldier on each side is carrying a bazooka. So one soldier on each side is carrying a bazooka. So this is true for both Palestini and Indian soldiers. One thing to understand and take care of while solving the questions is that the soldier who's carrying the bazooka may not necessarily be someone who is not among these 5 people, as in the couple of terrorists and the couple of soldiers standing on the landmine and the soldier who is a terrorist. We may have this traitor carrying the bazooka, or we may have this terrorist carrying a bazooka, or we may have any of these 2 soldiers standing on the landmine carrying a bazooka. So we can have one soldier having 2 characteristics, one being carrying the bazooka and one among any of these 3. Okay. So let's look at the statements that we have. First statement tells us, neither of those Palestini soldiers who are terrorists is facing the traitor. So there is no one who is opposite to a traitor. They are not going to be opposite to the traitor. Okay. So if we have terrorist and we have terrorist, the traitor doesn't stand over here and the traitor doesn't stand over here. Okay, we'll remember this. Second statement tells us exactly one person standing between the 2 Indian soldiers who are standing on the landmine. So we have this scenario, we have mine, cross and mine. So one soldier is standing. The same is true for 2 Palestini soldiers who are the terrorists. So we have terrorists, cross and terrorists. Okay, we'll remember this as well. And opposite to terrorists, we do not have a traitor. Remember this from the first statement. Let's look at the third one. The Palestini soldier standing between the soldiers who are terrorists. So we are talking about this person. The Palestini soldier standing between the soldiers who are terrorists is facing one of the Indian soldiers standing on the landmines. So we have terrorist, cross, terrorist. This person is opposite to the Indian soldier standing on the landmine. So we may have such combinations, right? Okay, we will remember this as well. Next statement says the Indian soldier carrying the bazooka, who is not the traitor, he is not the traitor, is the neighbor of only one soldier who is standing on the landmine. So that means the Indian soldier carrying the bazooka is at the extreme end. So let's say he is on the leftmost end and he is standing next to the soldier who is standing on the landmine. So the other soldier has to be over here. Okay. And he is not the traitor, so traitor can be either this person or the other person. Fifth statement tells us one of the soldiers carrying the bazooka is standing in the middle of his defense line and other on the extreme end. Okay, so we have extreme end in the case of India. So the Palestini soldiers, who are 5 in number, they are standing in the middle. The soldier carrying the bazooka is in the middle of its defense line. So this is the person who is going to carry a bazooka. So let's do one thing. Let's draw the possible tables that we can have. Okay. So if we look at the possible combinations, we will have these 2 possible combinations. Okay. We'll place traitor over here. We'll place traitor over here. We will place the person, the Indian soldier, on mine and mine. And we'll place we'll place the terrorist over here and the terrorist over here and the Indian soldier on mine and mine. Okay, why this? Because it was given that from the second and third statement, the third statement specifically, the Palestini soldier standing between the terrorists is facing one of these Indian soldiers standing on landmines. So he is the person who is between the terrorists. He is the person between the terrorists. So he should be opposite to an Indian soldier standing on the landmine. Now, let's look at the fourth statement now. Fourth statement says that the Indian soldier carrying the bazooka should be at the extreme end. So here the extreme end is taken, so extreme end is over here. But this person should be next to an Indian soldier standing on the landmine, but he is not. So this case gets eliminated. Let's look at this scenario. Can we have the Indian soldier carrying the bazooka over here? Yes. Can we have the Indian soldier carrying a bazooka over here? Yes. In both the cases, the Indian soldier carrying the bazooka is at the extreme end and is also standing next to this Indian soldier who is on the landmine. Okay. Next it says, the fifth statement says, one of the Indian soldiers carrying the bazooka is standing in the middle of his defense line at the extreme end. So Indian bazooka soldier we know. So this is the terrorist and he is also carrying the bazooka. We do not know whether the Indian bazooka soldier is at the extreme left or right in this scenario. So let's look at the first statement. First statement says, neither of those Palestini soldiers who are terrorists is facing the traitor, right? So this cannot be traitor, this cannot be traitor, so this person is definitely the traitor. So bazooka guy is over here, right? So let's start solving the questions. What about the remaining four soldiers? They are the general four soldiers. So let's start solving the answers. Okay, first statement. Which of the following statements is definitely true? A option. One of the soldiers carrying the bazooka is a terrorist. So that is true and is standing in the middle of the defense line of Palestine. Well, that is very much true. One of the soldiers who is a terrorist is also carrying the bazooka and he is in the middle of the defense line of Palestine, right? This is true. And the other three are going to be wrong. Next statement. Who is not a neighbor of the soldier standing on landmine? So let's look at this. Traitor. Can he be the neighbor of the soldier standing on landmine? So let's look at the combination we have. The combination we have is such that the two Indian soldiers who are standing on the landmine will always have every other three Indian soldiers as their neighbors. So there cannot be a single Indian soldier who cannot be neighbor to the Indian soldiers standing on the landmine. So if you look at the options, traitor not possible, soldier with bazooka not possible, or soldier is neither a traitor nor carrying the bazooka also not possible. Every Indian soldier is a neighbor of either one of them, right? Okay. Which of the following pair of soldiers are facing each other? Terrorist with bazooka and the traitor. Though remember that terrorists and traitors, they do not face each other, so the first option gets eliminated. One of the Indian soldiers standing on landmine and a Palestini soldier with bazooka. One of the Indian soldier standing on the landmine and the terrorist with the bazooka. This is also not true, so this also gets eliminated. Terrorist without bazooka and an Indian soldier with bazooka. So terrorist without bazooka and Indian soldier with bazooka. So this is true. If you look at the D option, if you cross check, this is going to be definitely false. Who among the following is standing opposite to the terrorist with bazooka? So opposite to the terrorist with bazooka, is a soldier who is neither a terrorist nor the soldier standing on the landmine nor the Indian soldier with a bazooka. So let's see what are the options. Indian soldier with a bazooka? No. Indian soldier standing on the landmine? No. The traitor? Definitely no. None of the above. Hence the right answer is option D.